I don't think that I have ever gone live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So this might be a really crazy live stream. I might regret doing this. I might on some level be like, Alesia, you're doing too much, but we got a lot to cover. I am going to be giving you my thoughts on the rehearsals from A to UK. So we're going in alphabetical order. So for all of y'all in the comments and you're shouting things out in the moment, waste of time. Waste of time. We're going in alphabetical order. And we got a lot to cover because we've at least seen like little snippets of everyone's rehearsals. I will say, I think I'm kind of looking at, I'm refreshing the the Eurovision YouTube site to see if we get a rehearsal roundup part 3, because it is hard to talk about. I mean, we can talk a little bit more about semifinal 1 participants than we can the semifinal 2 folks, because we haven't seen all of them, what they'll look like actually on the stage. That's the thing that I'm a little bit concerned about. But I will say, I am live here on YouTube and I'm live on TikTok. So let me just kick it off and just say, just go on and say, I don't know how I feel about the live streaming press conferences on TikTok. They made a deal, so they have to do it there. But I'm just not one of those TikTok people that even likes to watch the live streams. And I say that as I am live on TikTok. Typically, I'm live. I like live on YouTube. The quality is different. It's just on my phone. It's like I'll want to go to something else, and when you swipe away from TikTok, it's not like you can pause it or anything like that. You can't come back to it. So I don't know. I get it. And this is all about exposure for our artists. And we love that. That makes sense. However, it's just, as a digital nomad and consumer, this is just not really my steez. I'm a little bit more of I think I'm a YouTube girl. I would say I'm like YouTube, then TikTok, then Twitter. And Instagram is kind of a useless app at this point, to a certain degree. I guess unless you're a creator making a whole bunch of money on there, it feels like a useless app. But you know what? I'm going to hop into a comment actually. So let me just hop into YouTube. Oh my goodness. So many people already here. Oh my goodness. So hello, will you cover the dress rehearsal on Monday? I'm not going to live stream the dress rehearsal. I don't even think I've ever done that. I'm trying to remember, have I ever live? Actually, I might have done it in Lisbon. I might have done it. I think I'm just going to watch the dress rehearsal. But we'll see how I feel next week. Wisteria, good evening from Serbia. After the series of tragedies lately, I'm glad to take my mind off of something. Well, I'm glad you're here too. And so let's kick it off. We've done enough intro and everything. And I will say this live stream is also going to be available on my podcast, Eurovision For Real, available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I think iHeartRadio, all of that stuff. So you can go there. But let's kick off. And I'm going to go through so let's kick it off with Albania. I'm going to tell y'all, I just knew Albania was not going to fumble the bag. And now we have not seen what it looks like on camera. So I'm saying this only based off of what we saw on TikTok, which, breadcrumbs. But I thought that I just had faith that Albania was going to pull it through. So even when I had said that Albania was qualifying in my predictions, I was prepared for them to maybe let me down and prepared for me to have to let them go. I was prepared for that. Okay. I don't think that I have to prepare for that, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm living in a world where Albania is making it now. I'm living in a world where Albania is making it. I think the way that they sort of have Albania in a way that, what would I say? She's sort of in the front. It's bringing the drama. The family is sort of behind her. But then at the end, we have that triumphant moment. And, I saw someone say, just like your classic neighborhood Albanian restaurant. And I think that they were trying to say that as a read and not a compliment. And I was taking it as a compliment. Okay. I was like, and what's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? So I'm just going to throw it out there that, yeah, I was kind of and what? I think this can be our neighborhood restaurant. I just moved my TikTok screen over here. So yeah, I'm still living in a world. I love the styling for Albania, for the family, and for Albina. Albania's doing it right. Let me hop into some of these comments. So Joe Tan on TikTok says, that's what I've been saying. And then Mariano says, unfortunately, I think it will not qualify. I'm sorry, y'all. I just looking at the mix in semifinal 2. There's a space for Albania. What do we got? Okay. XC says, I don't think that foreigners will vote for Albania, only their diaspora. Well, guess what? Their diaspora is big. And honestly, I'm a foreigner. I don't know nothing about Albania for real other than Eurovision, in theory. And 90 Day Fiance. No, just kidding. But in theory, I don't. But Albania is giving us something that we come to Eurovision for. Like, what other real strong ethnic piece do we think is going to make it in semifinal 2? Are we just saying that we're not going to have any strong ethnic pieces? Because I feel like the televote has been telling us otherwise. The televote has been saying that. So Aiden says, I'm Albania and I think it's not going to make it. Okay, but Eurovision says Albania will stand out. That's my thing. Standing out is really the key thing. And let's be real too. I feel like everyone always counts out Albania. Like, for real. I feel like everyone always counts out Albania and then they end up making it. And I feel like that's been the case, in tough semis. And I don't think that this semi is that tough. It's tough. I think tough to predict. It's a little bit of a potpourri semi. But we've done enough on Albania. Let's move on to Armenia. What can I say that I haven't already said? I think that actually the way that they did this was beautiful. I said that I wanted her to have a set piece, and they've kind of done that, with this sort of elevated stage platform and the projections. I think Armenia is going to make it. I was nervous when we just saw the TikTok 30 seconds, and that's why it's you can't really trust all the breadcrumbs. So don't think that I'm just trusting everything. I'm not crazy. I'm not delusional, y'all. I get it. I would say, I think with Armenia, the styling is right. The staging is right. Yeah, I think Armenia is making it. I think it's also somewhat risky of a song. So Larindi says Armenia is easily in. Antonia says the only thing that Armenia needs to nail is the attitude of the song. I think we're getting it. Marco says Armenia will definitely be top 10. I don't know about that. I don't want to I'm not trying to jinx anyone. Okay, Lital says, I don't like Armenia. I think it's a risky song. Okay, and then ESC Shervin says, still a bit nervous. I hope the rap part becomes very dynamic and drops the dream quality. I think that it will. Again, we're only getting crumbs. We don't really know what we're going to see until Monday when we start getting the dress rehearsals and everything. So, there's that. I'm seeing where we're going to be. Okay, so let's move on to Australia. Y'all, Australia's cakewalking this. Cakewalk. I don't even think it's going to be hard. I think they're just cruising in the car to the final. And I remember a moment when we were nervous about Australia, and someone was like, if Australia was in semifinal 1, I'd be more nervous for them. And honestly, I think they'd still make it. If I'm being real, I think they'd still make it. But I could understand the nerves. For it being in semifinal 1. And that's not to say semifinal 1's so competitive. I think semifinal 1, again, I feel like semifinal 1, we just have a lot of our countries that tend to do very well at Eurovision. And then in semifinal 2, we have the countries that some have been a little bit more of the wild cards. And so that's why it's interesting. And that's why I'm it's so important for us to actually see what they do on the stage. Because these are countries that sometimes have great songs and then suck at staging. Or the song is awful, but then the staging is just yeah, go on, let them in. So I think that this is giving us our more dynamic staging. So let me turn over to TikTok, and I'm saying, is this the first time in Eurovision that we're seeing cars used in the stage? No, right? No. We've seen cars on stage before. But I'm also I could just be thinking of like a Melody Festival in World, which which we have, of course. Tim's says, can't really understand the hype for Australia. It's well executed. People of a certain generation are like, this feels really right. And I mean, it's catchy. I'm telling you, when you listen to the whole Eurovision 2023 playlist, when you're listening to the whole piece, it stands out. You don't forget it. I think casual viewers, locals at home, will be like, who is that? Was that Australia? Oh, okay. I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling. Okay. This might be one of the most televote friendly songs that Australia has had outside of what, we can do tonight again. Oh, oh, ooh. I'm gonna play that after. That song I always like revisit. It's like I keep that on. Like I have just like a master playlist of like songs I really, 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 really like just outside of Eurovision. And that's on it. So I love it when it pops up. Okay. And then Andrea says, how do you think they'll do in the final? Honestly, Australia might be what? At least top 15. At least top 15, right? Like easily. Nil Era, I think we have too many props this year. Very circus. It's the Eurovision Song Contest, baby. We got to upgrade, elevate, try new things. And so, yeah, I'm into the props. Do we even have that many, though? Because clearly we have more in 2018 because there were no LEDs. So, bloop, bloop. Austria. Y'all, let's talk about Austria. Okay, I'm okay. Let me start off and just say, I think that Austria is still going to make it. Okay? I think that Austria is still going to make it. But I will start off and say, vocally they sounded okay, but you could tell that something was off with the sound mixing. That's not their fault. That's the production team's fault. So like you could tell that there was like something like slightly off. I think the staging is kitsch enough. And I think the clip that we saw, they weren't doing the dance, but I wonder if they weren't doing the dance because they were kind of like, yo, like what's going on? Like, so then they were just like, bump the choreo, like we gotta sound good. So I didn't see them do the, po, 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 po. And I kind of want to see them do it at some point. We know that they have dancers, so I think it's going to happen. Maybe they don't bust it out in the first chorus, but then like triumphant in the end, which I think is like the smart thing to do. And then I will say this. I've not liked any of their clothes. I've not liked any of the clothes that they've worn. Like even in the music video, it was kind of like, okay, I'm giving you a pass. It's narrative. But at this point, I think I like the secretary outfits that they had in the beginning, and then when they were at the police station, I don't know. I haven't liked any of the clothes, and honestly, I think these are the clothes that they're wearing. So I'm just gonna have to like swallow it and just be like, man, wish there were better clothes. But we're living with it. Let me see. Eurovision says, I love their clothes. I don't. I don't find them flattering. I don't find them fashion forward. Like, yes, they're showpieces, but without the fashion forward sort of element of like trend setting, and then like without them even like, I think showcasing them in the best way, it's just like, they're just clothes. They're just wearing things. Yeah, so everyone in the comments says that they love the clothes. Whatever. I don't mind the red and black. I don't mind the red and black. I don't like the outfits. I don't like the styling. But, whatever. To each his own. It's not really that deep. I think that they're still going to make it. I think that this song is still going to stick for people. But I think that conversation about it potentially winning, I don't think so. I don't think we're there anymore. I think top 10. I think top 10. But them winning, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. So what are y'all saying? Top 10 is a stretch a bit. This year we've got some other things. It depends upon the mood of Europe. Callie Stir, I think Austria is still top 3 for semi 2, but no longer winning. Oh, yeah. I will say, I had already said that I thought Slovenia was likely to win the semi. Are we accepting that we're probably back in that space? Like Slovenia is probably just going to win the semi, right? Yeah. Or Australia. but it's probably not going to happen. Slovenia is going to win the semi. Let's just say that. Yeah, Bruno said Australia might win the semi. Eurovision, Australia win. I don't know if Australia's going to win it, though. I don't know. You still have the people in Europe that are like, why is Australia here? You know? Obviously, I'm not one of those people. I'm not European. I don't have to gatekeep European culture. But, but I mean, it's Australia or Slovenia. It's one of them. Someone said Armenia can too. Armenia's coming too early to win it. Armenia's coming too early to win the semi. I mean, I could even see a world where like Armenia does better than, Slovenia or Australia in the grand final. Like, that wouldn't seem crazy to me if that happened, but I don't think they're winning the semi. I don't think we're doing the semi. Okay, let's move on because we got so much to get to. Okay, we got to move on to Azerbaijan. Y'all, I mean, they surprised everybody. And I asked a question today who do you think the shock qualifier from semifinal 2, or not semifinal 2, sorry, semifinal 1, who the shock qualifier could be? And a lot of people were saying Azerbaijan. It looks good, right? The show looks really, really good. I'm looking at a TikTok comment that says, I think Slovenia will come third in the semi. And then what do y'all think? Lewis says Azerbaijan. Okay, y'all. Maiden says, not me. Andrea says Azerbaijan is my biggest grower. Steven says it's cute, but no way this is qualifying. ESC Dakota, oh no, it's still DOA, but they got that oil money, so it's always going to look good. Well, yes. I mean, it looked good. I don't know if they're going to make it. But it looks good. And that's what you want, low key. Even if you're not going to make it, it's like you don't want to be able to say like, oh, we didn't make it, and just be able to point out all the errors. Because then you look dumb, right? Because it's kind of like, well, then why didn't you fix it? You know what I mean? So yeah. Let's see. K-pop says, I've loved Azerbaijan from the beginning. I love that. It's a good song. It is a cute song. It's just not, I think people are worried about the competitiveness, and also that semi is just so tough. Like, it was going to be an uphill battle, even if Azerbaijan put together something like Ethnic and a Bop. Like, it still was going to be an uphill battle because you would have had other countries to compare it to a little bit in semifinal 1. And then Strategic Political Projection says Azerbaijan is not last, but not qualifying. And I agree with that. I don't think that Azerbaijan is coming last. Not in semifinal 1. Okay, let's move on. Belgium. Okay, y'all, I'm going to tell you right now. I have my list of my pre-rehearsal predictions, and then I have my post-rehearsal predictions. Now I will tell you, historically speaking, my pre-rehearsal predictions are actually more accurate than my post-rehearsal predictions. But I will tell you, I did have Belgium on the fence. And I did say, I think I said, we won't get Denmark, Greece, and Belgium. I was like, that's the seat. Greece, Denmark, and Belgium. I was like, we'll get maybe 2, but we're not going to get all 3 of them. And so now where I'm living, I'm going to tell you, Belgium is making it on my list. And I had already kind of gone and said that like Belgium had a shot of making it. Like with me, like once we started getting the songs, I was like, oh, no, there's space. Because Belgium, at least we know we got a vocal. Like, and this is, I'm saying before we even got the rehearsals, it's like, at least we know we got a vocal. At least we know we have something catchy. And we have something that I actually thought the staging that they did, at the Belgium, like at their national selection, I actually was like, oh, like, this is good. Like, it looks like, we had staging. I just didn't know if the song was going to be enough for Europe. And I think it's making it. So let's move on from Belgium. So all in all, I liked Belgium's rehearsal. I had something nagging me about it. And honestly, I think what it was that made me nervous was I was like, Europe hasn't seemed to like sometimes when people bring in like a guest performer. Like, I just feel like every time someone has had like the guest performer, I shouldn't say every time, but like, I think if you look at guest performers being brought into a performance and like, standard, the guest performers, it's like not having it wins over it. Like, I think it's not always been helpful. So I was a little bit nervous, like, oh no, is this going to be the thing? But I think we're okay. I think we're okay. And just to hop in these comments, is Estonia grow on you? Will you see the second rehearsal clip? Okay, let me tell you, we're going from rehearsal recap A to UK. So I'm literally going in alphabetical order. So we're gonna make it there. So moving on from Belgium, Croatia. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. They didn't give us much. Again, we're commenting on crumbs. So it's not a lot for me to go off of, like, for real. But I will say, I think with Croatia, Croatia's one of those songs, I think it was going to make it through no matter what they did on the stage. And low-key, they had staging at the national selection. It seems like they're just doing what they did at the national selection, but kind of making it a little bit bigger. They graduated it for the Eurovision stage, which is good. But I will say I felt less confident for it. Like after seeing, and not because of what they're doing, but because of what everybody else is doing. You get what I'm saying? I felt less confident about it, not because of them, but because of what everyone else is doing, that I'm like, ooh. And yeah, and we'll get to it. Let's hop into these comments. Steven, it looks tamer than I expected. Yeah, I think that's part of where I'm coming. Like, they did take it down a notch, but again, we're commenting on breadcrumbs. So who knows? There could have been really something there for real. So possible. Okay. Let's see. Bruno says Croatia doesn't belong in the grand final. It would steal someone else's spot. I mean, look, we know that, but I think we've all reconciled with the fact that Croatia's most likely gonna make it. So let's not even get ourselves worked up, trying to tamp it down, Yeah. Danny says Croatia are fun and clever, but they look out of place. Okay. Connor John, Croatia is sailing through. See, here's the thing. I don't think that they're sailing through anymore. And the reason why they're not sailing through anymore is because of what everyone else did. Okay, let me hop into TikTok. Okay, TikTok, there's someone who says, Mikey says, I'm sure Croatia wanted to do more, but I can see the EBU telling them to tone it down. True. And I mean, here's the thing about Let 3. Have y'all watched interviews with them? They are so likable. That I could almost believe them, even with their punk rock nature, just being like, look, we're not trying to shake it up too much, y'all. Like, we want to make our statement. We want to do it, but like, we're not trying to have y'all mad at us. And I really like that. I really like that. So Croatia, I just think I felt more worried about it than I did before, just again, because of what everyone else is doing. Let's move on to Cyprus. I thought Cyprus was going to do more, actually. This was a case, I thought that they were going to do more. I think that how do y'all feel? I think with Cyprus, we've just all been kind of assuming it was going to make it through. And now it's time to kind of count it up. And I'm like, y'all gonna pick up the phone and call for it? And mind you, I'm not talking, and so I have to move to TikTok for this one. I'm not talking to you people from Cyprus, because y'all like to be up in my comments talking about, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, blah, 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 blah. What? I said that Cyprus was gonna make it. Anyway, y'all, coming back to YouTube. I think Cyprus is qualifying. I think it's still gonna make it. But I think the question here, someone posed the question, Eurovision, will Cyprus stand out though? I just assumed that they would. But now I'm kind of like, is there a world where it becomes forgettable? I don't know. Das Mystery Man says Cyprus will most likely qualify. I think I'm still living in there. Andreas says Greece and Australia will call for it, but lest we forget, it's not like Andrew won, Australia decides. You know what I'm saying? The people weren't picking up their phone then, so just something to keep in mind. Lewis, Cyprus gets enough votes from Greece and San Marino. RM says Cyprus looked like Andrew singing with last year's postcards on the LED wall. Oh, Lord. Helly says Cyprus was so surprising. How so? To me, it was surprising just because I thought that they were going to do more. I thought they were going to give him some dancers or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I recall seeing dancers. It was just him, the LEDs. We had fire with the smoke and, atmosphere. I think Cyprus is still making it, but let's move on to Czechia. Some of y'all don't like their styling. Some of y'all don't like, I don't know, thought that they should be doing more. Here's the thing. I think they're still qualifying, right? Like, they're still going to qualify. Yeah. Let's hop into these comments. Wait. Cyprus has my vote for sure due to the Molify cover. Okay. Vlad, I love Czechia's staging. Andreas, I love Czechia. Aaron, Czechia is such a difficult one to guess. Savvy Adam, love Czechia. They have gotten better since the pre-parties. Yeah, I think Czechia is still making it. I actually like the styling and I like the idea. I like the braids. I'm actually feeling it. And I would also note, when you watch that recap, they're like the few ones that feel light. Go back and watch the recap. I'm like, oh, finally some white, some brightness other than color. You know what I mean? Like, it actually feels light through their performance. And I really, really like that. So Czechia, we're cool. Denmark, I'm kind of mad at y'all. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm mad at y'all. When I watched the clip of Riley's performance, I miss the vocoder. Like, I hope it's not gone for forever. Like, we could get 2 choruses with it. Like, I mean, come on, y'all. I feel like, and this is why I thought I tweeted this and maybe it just ended up in drafts or it failed or something. But this is why delegations can't just listen to like Twitter. You have to like cultivate who you listen to for feedback, because the issue wasn't the presence of the vocoder. It was just the volume of it. And now I feel like they don't have it at all. I want it back. Or at least give me 2 choruses with it. Come on. Let's move on. So I don't know. So with Denmark, I think I put Denmark. I think Denmark's a little bit shaky right now. And actually, funny enough, in the alphabet, Denmark is a little bit shaky. And if Denmark fumbles the bat, I think Estonia is taking it. Estonia, to me, was always on the fence after we got the running order, unfortunately. I like this song. I've been back and forth about it like all season, but now I'm living in like Eurovision mode and I don't skip it. There is no more time to get back on track. Tearing down the walls. Okay. I'm into the drama. Obviously, we know she can sing live. I don't like this styling she has. She said in the first video that they were waiting on the stylist or the outfit or something. We need another outfit. I don't like this. I don't like this one. And I didn't like what she had at the national selection either, to be honest. And I'm not saying that she should be in a gown. Just because I say I don't like the styling doesn't mean I want them in a gown. I very rarely suggest gowns anyway. So just saying that. Marcos, Estonia should be in the final, even though I don't like the song at all. But the staging... Connor John, Estonia be as basic as a piano ballad could be. Katse says Estonia stage looks good. It does look good. And thank you. Can you please compete in Eurovision? I always love your singing. I would never compete at Eurovision because y'all wouldn't give me no points because I'm not European. Y'all wouldn't call. You wouldn't pick up the phone and call for me. I already know. ESC Dakota, Estonia can do it. She's literally the only piano power ballad, and a lot of folks come for that, but they always style her so much older, and it's not great. I agree. But yeah, Estonia was always on the fence after we got the running order. Period. And if Denmark doesn't pop, then Estonia, I think, is coming in. Let's move on to Finland. What can I say that I haven't already said? It was great. I mean, I did a whole video reacting to it, so I don't think I need to spend a lot of time on Karja. But Finland, hello. It could win. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. Because I did see some things where everyone's like, I saw a comment like the other day. They're like, oh, Alesia is always talking about vocals. And then Karja comes off and she's like, yes, queen. Here's the thing. I judge you with what you have presented before me. That is how I judge songs. I judge off of what you have presented before me. So if you have a vocal performance a song that requires you to have a vocal, then of course, I am going to be judging your vocal. Duh. If you can't sing, don't sing a song that requires you to have a vocal. Hello? And to be fair, I said with Serbia, I wish that we could have because in that song, I feel like there could have been a way to create a vocal in that song. But I like it. But I also notched down Serbia when I was doing my personal top 10 because I was like, well, it's not necessarily giving me a vocal moment. But Katia is a rapper. So what do you judge rappers on? Lyricism, cadence, and how they can keep up with their own flow that they've set. He's doing that. So hop up off my back, okay? Get off my neck. Get off my neck. Yeah. Multi Sky 7, Katia is not a vocalist, but a great presenter of his product. What do we have? Alex, they should increase the volume on Katia's voice and should tighten up the camera shots. I mean, we haven't seen the whole piece, y'all. I'm telling you, the song is going to start off not with wide shots. It's going to be tight shots on his face. I'm not worried about Finland staging, so I'm not even going to get into it. Finland will be fine. Like, we know they're qualifying, winner potential. France, let's talk about France. Let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on to France. I like this staging. It's interesting because I feel like y'all were all surprised. And I was confused at your surprise because I feel like when they did that like presentation, we saw Lazara elevated. We were shooting her from down below, looking up, and the camera was panning over. They even had the like, what do they call it? Like why am I blanking on it? The curtain of like lights, like the pyro curtain. Yeah, the pyro curtain and everything. We had that in the music video. And so then y'all saw all these pictures and we're like wetting yourselves as if it was like, oh my gosh. It's like, they basically told us that this was what they were going to do. I mean, maybe we thought that they were lying. Maybe we thought that they were like faking us out or something like that. Yeah. So, let's hop into these comments. Rodrigo says, and in the end, France wins the contest. No. Aaron said, Alesia, don't you hate France? When and where? When and where? See, that's why y'all just be getting on the internet and lying. Like, y'all just get on the internet and lie. Like, no, when and where? When did I say I hated that song? It's been solidly in my like pile this whole entire time. And actually what I said was, I was like, the thing that was holding me back from like loving it more was the fact that I felt like in the production, when you're listening to the studio cut, I'm like, oh, like, I think it needs more like instrumentation. I was like, I need a little bit more instrumentation. And from what I could hear when she was performing, even in the arena, they added it. They added like instrumentation to it. Yeah. So, oh wait, so hold on, let me hop into the comments. Okay. So Fur Pedersen says France could win the Duncan Lawrence way. Here's where I disagree with that. Because this is the thing. I think that Sweden could win the Duncan Lawrence way. I mean, honestly, I could see France maybe winning the jury. But like maybe being like 6 with the televote. I just don't think the locals are going to be eating up France in the way that like some of y'all think. That's my only thing. I don't know. I mean, I could even see France coming second again, you know? Tazim says France is third on the odds. What's your opinion on that? I think we've had this conversation about the odds. There's not that many people who bet. So like I could probably put like 200 down on Serbia and then they'd shoot to like number 1 in the betting odds. Someone told me that. Like, so I'm not even saying that like, you know. Anta says, like, y'all are overrating France so bad this whole season. They can't win. It's unremarkable for the first listen. I don't know. Das Mystery Man backing me up. These people, she never said that. Yeah, like, never. Yeah, and then Maiden says because she thinks it's not going to win, she hates it. Yeah, y'all are, too much. And so Aaron said, you never had France in your top 10 and you dismissed it as being a winner. That does not hate a song make. Come on, y'all. Y'all just be doing too much on the internet. Y'all do too much on the internet. Okay. So someone said, so I'm Steven said, okay, that's an exaggeration. If you put down a couple of thousand though, then yeah. Okay, great. Bruno said, but Alesia, you also thought Voila wouldn't appeal to the locals. I say we can be surprised again. Sure, we can be surprised, but also it didn't win. It didn't win though. It didn't win though. So I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. I mean, look, like, I just think that, I think that there is always the country, and I would say, I think we even did it with France in 2019. In 2019, France and Azerbaijan, once we saw the rehearsals, we all were kind of like, oh, whoa, like maybe they're winning this year. And then they didn't. And so, like, I just feel like there's this moment of, like, the rehearsals where we have to recognize, like, put ourselves back down a little bit, I guess. Like, yeah, put ourselves, put ourselves back down to, like, reality and recognize that even us in this bubble, like, we are probably, I think 20% is even me padding our space and role in, like, kind of the overall judging. The 80% will reign. And I think also too, we have to go back to really our first impressions. Now, I always said, I was like, I mean, there have been people who have had France as like their winner. Like, I remember when France dropped, there were some people like, oh, this is my winner. Like, that totally happened. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it's crazy. And I've actually said, I was like, I think France's song is a jury song. But if we think, but do y'all really think that, like, Sweden is not going to win the jury, though? Do you really think so? I mean, because if it doesn't win, it's coming second, right? And if it doesn't win, it's coming third, right? I don't know. Okay, let's move on from France. But France, the rehearsal was great. Obviously, she sounded great. And then I think my other thing that I said about France that people are taking that as, like, a slight was, I was like, it's not a vocally challenging song. It's not. In comparison to, I think, like, what Sweden is doing, even Norway, just if we're thinking about vocal dynamics and just as it's written as a piece. I'm not saying that that's everything. I'm not. But I'm saying it's also a thing that some people might be running. And actually, let me do music form. Running order will be important for France. And I agree with that. I think France coming first half is not good for it. I would want France to come second half, for sure. Some songs can sustain, like a Sweden, even Finland could come first half. You're not going to forget it. And I'm not saying that that means France is forgettable, but if we think about the pacing and the tempo of the song, like, you will want to have that come later, I think, in the show. Yeah. So hold on. Someone said, apart from the high note. Wait, what? Hold on. I think this is tied to another. Gospodin said, I could see Norway winning the jury. I've said that. I've said that consistently. I could see Norway winning the jury. I definitely could. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, let's move on to Georgia. We're like not even halfway through, y'all. So Georgia. Great, but I thought that they were going to give us more avant-garde. I thought they were going to give us more fashion. With her being in white, like, I like the styling, like, I like the cut of it and everything. But man, I would have loved her in a color. Like, I would have loved her in a pop of color. I thought she was going to give us a little bit more of that avant-garde look. And I also think that her doing the avant-garde thing would help her to stand out even more on the stage. Look, Georgia's still qualifying. I'm not worried for it in that way. But I do think that they had an opportunity to really, really cement Iru. And, like, I don't know if that's fully happening. Like, it's happening. But it could happen more. I think it could happen more. Let me hop into these comments. Marcos expected to see dancers. I did too. I did. And thank you, Tavi. You know I love your talks about ESC. Happy countdown to the week. Yes. I can't even believe it's happening. Amy B, I thought Georgia would bring some fashionable dancers like the music video. Yeah, me too. I would say that's the only thing. That's the only thing. I think Georgia's fine though. So let's move on. Germany. I'm gonna be real, y'all. I feel very zen about this year. I don't feel like there's anyone I really have to be like fighting fighting for. There's no countries that I'm like I really got to be like duking it out in the comments to like fight for. But I would like to see Germany top 10. But y'all know I love a rock moment. So I'd be okay. And I mean like a real rock moment. So Australia or Germany, but I would say for Germany, I just think that their national selection actually was good this year. And I think the effort that they put in, like, I just want them to truly be rewarded. Maybe they will already feel that lift. Maybe they will already feel like, yes, like we did it and the triumph. But I just want to cement it. And I will want to cement it with them coming top 10. It might not happen. I like the performance. They did what they did at the national selection, but I do think that they elevated it. I think it's going to be a moment on the stage no matter where it falls in the running order. I mean, who do you think is going to open the show? We got to figure that. We'll talk about that at the end. Let's keep going. Greece. Okay, I am not a fan of putting performers looking like their regular selves on LEDs. The way that the UK is doing it, great. The way Finland is doing it, great. But it looks like Victor is just on the LEDs, walking around like a regular person, and then he's standing in front of you. I find it strange. And then also, like, what's the impact? And then also, I don't understand the styling. Can someone please tell me, is there like some type of fashion moment that is happening where we're bringing back like safari style stuff? Did I miss something? Like truly, is this like in? Are these the clothes that are in? Like really, I'm old now. I know I'm not super, super young. I know I'm not in on the know. So I don't really know what high schoolers are wearing. But the shorts with the pulled up socks in all khaki, safari, right? I don't know. So I just don't understand. I just don't understand the styling. And I don't know what is happening on those LEDs. Because it just looked like him walking around. And this song is so good. I love the song. But you know what they say? Life's short. Make sure no one loses their way. Hurt ones can't stand seeing others in pain. Oh, I am both. Yeah, I just don't understand the clothes. And so just off the clothes alone, I'm saying that Greece it could be out. I'm not really saying that. I'm joking. But it could be out just based off of those clothes and confusing LEDs. I need to see this in motion stat. I need to see what people at home are going to be seeing stat. Your mom on TikTok says, we are not going to qualify. We don't have good staging and the song is very forgetful. See, but I like Greece's song, y'all. I know. I really like it. I prefer it to Cyprus's. Cyprus's, I do think is more immediate. That's the song that hits you over the head. You know, yeah. But Victor, I really like the song. I just don't really understand what's happening with the package on stage. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on. And so actually, that's why I said I feel more confident about Belgium, because if Greece is out, Belgium is in there. Next up, Iceland. I love the changes that they made to the styling. Look, I was just listening to that. I'm ready to let you go. Hold you back no more. Come on. Don't y'all want that? Don't y'all want that vocal in the final? No power. Come on. I don't know. It's probably not going to make it. Okay, let's move on to Ireland. I mean, I've already shared kind of my thoughts on Ireland because I had that whole video. They came out with a video of all the semifinal one folks all in one fell swoop. I thought that they were going to kind of do more with the staging, low-key. And I remember when we looked at the pictures, it was like, oh, okay, it's looking like something. But that's why you can't trust these photos. Because it's like, it was looking like something, and then You know what I mean? And then we saw the clip and it was like, oh, maybe not. So Ireland, and real talk, I like the clothes, but I do think for Colin is the lead singer, right? Or Connor? Colin, right? The lead vocalist. Do they have that suit in like a size up? Because this is the thing, and people thought that I was trying to come for him, but it wasn't even that. I'm just saying for a bodysuit like that with bell bottoms, you want the fabric to move a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just on his body. And so it's just like he's just walking and you want a little bit of lag on it. That's what I was saying. I wasn't trying to like comfort him or anything like that. But okay, so his name is Connor. There we go. Yeah, Connor needs to size up. Maybe even like 2-3 sizes so then we can get the hang. We want it kind of loose. I just, you don't want to know where my mind just went. All right, moving on. Israel. It's great. It's great. It looks good. My only thing is on that dance break. And then I will say, because of the camera shots on the dance break, it makes me a little bit nervous about what the camera shots are going to be on the other ones. Because when she's doing that dance break, why do we have just one sweeping camera circling her? Absolutely not. We need to have it interspliced with static cameras that are just taking different angles. It drags it. It's not giving me the frenetic energy that we need in a dance break like that. So yeah. That's it. Gospodin said my LGBT community will fight for Ireland to qualify because of the drama last week. Y'all, this is semifinal 1 we're talking about. This is not the semi to make statements. We got to just pick the good songs, okay? I mean, if you want us to be talking about, like, let me just be real. I think that this year has the potential to be one of the best grand finals of the Eurovision Song Contest ever. And I'm saying trumping 2016. And the reason why is because we know our hosts are going to be bomb. Like, the show production is going to be great. I think the interval acts are going to be good. We'll have enough good songs in the mix to where it's like, okay, it has the potential to really do some things. It will not if you drown out the final with foolish songs. Don't do it. I would like to stop talking about, 2021 in a way. You know what I mean? Because to me, 2021, it wasn't even like the whole show. It was like song quality. But to me, it's like 2016, like kind of like this is the dream. Like this is what you want to shoot for. This is the goal. This is the aspiration. 2021 song quality. And honestly, the hosts were not that bad 2021. You know what I mean? So it was like, even though the hosts weren't, Petra and Mons, because the song quality was just so good and the overall production was smooth. It was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, come on. I'm just saying. Okay, but y'all, remember, and just reminder, if you just joined the stream, we are doing Eurovision 2023 rehearsal recap A to UK. So currently we're on Israel. So Israel, I'm not worried for Israel. I don't know. I always had like this little worry for them. And I think it's because in 2016, I just thought that Israel was going to like sail like through. And I remember their delegation was like, oh, I don't know. Like, we're kind of nervous. I was like, y'all are nervous? I'm like, no, it's going to make it through. And so then I think it always made me a little bit nervous for them because I'm like, maybe they're just operating under this kind of like level of like we don't know. And so maybe that's what it is. And then because the song was just like in English and like pop and then it wasn't giving us like that in your face sort of like ethnic quality that typically Israel, I think, does so well at Eurovision, and not every country does it so well. So we're good. Israel, let's move on to Italy. Italy is giving us dancers. I'm really happy about that. I will say, I think a lot of y'all are really thinking that Italy, like I've had some conversation where they're like, oh, Italy's going to be in the jury, top 3 and stuff like that. I'm like, even when Italy does stuff that's like really, really good, the jury never awards them. So I don't know, like if y'all have got this confidence, y'all can keep that because I am not living in that world. Or not keep it, but keep it and maybe share it. Maybe expose me to some of that because I have no like level of comfort when it comes to Italy ever at the Eurovision Song Contest because I am just always waiting for the jury to pull some foolishness on them. You know what I'm saying? And this year, given the fact that Italy is not the focus this year, it's not one of our front runners. It is probably like the weakest, and I put weakest in air quotes because it's not a weak song, but like the weakest of the big 5. And then if they come first half, oh my God, forget about it. Forget about it. Like, it's over. It's over. And I say all this to say, I think this is one of the best 3-minute cuts that they have ever done. And looking at what they are possibly doing on the stage, I think it's going to look beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. So we'll see. Let's move on to Latvia. Eurovision rehearsal recap. So we're just on L. We're on Latvia. I will tell you. And maybe we'll get to this later. I think Latvia is going to make it. I'm feeling more confident about it. I'm actually entering a state of comfort for it. But I'm entering a state of comfort for it because one of my favorites, I think it could be out. So we can come back to it. Although I think that Latvia could have done more. And some people were like, what's your issue with the lights? I don't get your issue with the lights. It's not that I have an issue with the lights. My issue is that I'm like, there were people in the fandom who were already forgetting Sudden Lights and the song. Legit. They were just like, oh, like, I'm just not into it, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, it was one of the earlier songs that we got. And so to me, I'm like, if that was their national selection, then why would we want to recreate that on the Eurovision stage? You know what I'm saying? That was my fear. I just wanted, because I think the song is so great, I wanted them to mix it up and just do something else to then maybe make it so that live performance stuck more. So Das Mystery Man, unpopular opinion, they copy and pasted the staging, but they improved it and made it better. I like the surrounding orange lights. Like, maybe it just ends up working better. But I will say, when I saw the visuals and like in the run of semifinal 1, I was like, no, I think it's in, but also I think it's in because another one of our favorites fell. Michael Law, I like Sudden Lights, but I always forget it as soon as I finish hearing it. See, these people are out there. I just want to cement them. I just want to cement it in, but I am living in a world where I think it actually does make it, even if it is borderline, I think it might just edge in. Next up, Lithuania. What is going on with this styling? Girl, I saw the pictures from today, and this dress that she's got on now looks like, you know, like one of those, like, early, remember when Zach Posen was doing all the party dresses for like Rihanna? This one looks like that without the embellishment, without like the cuteness, without like the kitsch, but also like cuteness and kitsch for this song. Baby girl, just put a gown on. Or bring out what, and I don't even suggest gowns. That's how dire it's gone. Because I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, just put the gown on. Just put the gown on. It'll work. It'll be fine. Or just put it on what you had at the national selection. The dress she had in the first rehearsal, I didn't love it. But I was like, it's a showpiece. So like, I can get down with it. You know, I'm into a showpiece. And I will say today, but then she had those black heels on, but I was like, it's just rehearsal. So then today, she's got the right shoes on. So I like the shoes, but those shoes paired with that much thigh, baby girl, no, no, not all that thigh, not all that thigh in them heels. Come on, let's just find what we had at the national selection and bring it back. It was cute. I like the styling at the national selection, actually. And at this point, like I said, it's just getting so dire. I'm like, now I'm like, good Lord, where are the good stores? Somebody from Liverpool, y'all got like, actually in the UK, y'all are like really big with the fast fashion. I am sure there is some sequin, red, Pretty Little Things. What, Boohoo? Is it Boohoo or Boho? I don't know. I don't buy from them. But like, it's Boohoo is like one of the fast fashion brands. We got Pretty Little Things. I am sure that there is an orange something, maybe mid-calf, cute, that we could just throw on. Because, yeah, not this much thigh with them heels. But Lithuania, I think, is making it through. Y'all know I love the song. I've carried sadness with me. I hid it well since 16. And all yeah, I like it. Malta, the busker, I want them in. The running order's killing them. I think a lot of y'all think that it's, that it might make it in. I don't. And I think they're going to just miss out. And it kind of sucks. Like, it kind of sucks. This is one of my most listened to songs in the car. Where now? Yeah, I love it. I love it. But I think it is just missing out. It's coming too soon. The running order killed it, and we should have actually had it open the show. Norway didn't need to open the show. She was going to make it no matter what. But also, I think they're like, look, let's have the thing open the show that's going to make it through. Like, I get it. But I love the staging. I think it looks good. Yeah. Moldova. How are y'all feeling about Moldova? Let's talk about it. How are y'all feeling about Moldova? Because I'll tell you this. I feel like with Moldova, I thought that they were going to give us more. And then the 30-second clip that they chose, I was like, this is like a little bit like, it didn't look as clean. It didn't look as precise. You know, like the images were giving us all the imagery. So I'm like, the imagery was there. So why are y'all moving? And I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I don't really know what's happening. Yeah, I just, yeah, I just, yeah, let me see. Okay, Amy B says Moldova is okay, but not outstanding. Eurovision battles, Moldova, I'm getting shocked non-qualifier. Alexa, love Moldova's song. Staging is a big, Wisteria, they're probably saving better for the show. They need to. Because this is the thing, I think it could just be the 30-second clip we saw. Like, let's be real. Like, we can't get all, like, worked up, and it's just, like, ultimately, like, it's fine. Like, it could just be ultimately fine. But I think with Moldova, I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, this is just a semifinal of death. I do think, though, Moldova benefits a little bit from kind of what Albania will benefit from. Because ultimately, Moldova... What else do we have that's terribly ethnic other than Portugal? And we'll get to Portugal. It's like Moldova and Portugal are like our ethnic pieces, right? From semifinal 1. And Moldova probably has like more of the momentum, maybe? I don't know. Even though that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let me see. Emily says, I feel like a lot of the fan faves are kind of lacking in the rehearsal. Not all of them. Not all of them. Nil era, people are underestimating Moldova again. Well, I'm not. I have Moldova qualifying. But the rehearsal made me a little nervous. Let's see. Antonio, it feels amateur, especially after Noah and before Lorien. You know, I just thought Moldova would have recognized like where they were falling and do what they do so well, which is really give us something polished, and something polished that doesn't even cost that much money. Just the 30-second clip we saw, I was like, huh? And Pasha dancing with the flautist? No, we need, or at least give me some camera angles to add some tension or something. I don't know what they were doing. Eurovision battles, I think Serbia could overlap in voters with Moldova and maybe Czechia. Well, and let's be real. Czechia and Serbia are in. They're in. Right? Wisteria Moldova 2022 looked underwhelming on rehearsal pictures and videos as well. Moldova 2022. I'm like, where was I? I'm like, last year. Like, Moldova. Oh my God, what was... Hold on. Lord. Oh, yeah, but hold on. But with them, it was, but the song I think was a little bit more immediate, right? Chisinau and Bucharest. And I think the energy that Moldova was bringing last year is what Portugal is bringing us this year. Ethnic, fun, joyful. A ride that we want to go on. Hey, ho. Let's go. Folklore and rock and roll. You know, with Suarez, it's more mystical. It's a little bit more mystical. I mean, this one I'd almost be in a world where I'd compare this to France last year. Like, people were trying to compare it to Goe, and I was like, And people were trying to compare France, you know, last year to Goe, and I was like, But Moldova this year, I could see, I think the production is better than what we had from France last year. I mean, sonically, the production. But I don't know. But, Purple Sunny. Everyone hated Moldova's song last year before they saw the whole package live. Not me. Not me. I liked it on first listen. I love doing reaction videos just because it's like I've got the record to show. Like, that's how I felt about it. So if there was a question, like, boom. That's still like sitting with me. The fact that I don't have something in my top 10 means I hate the song. Ridiculous. Okay, let's move on. The Netherlands. Okay. I said that if the Netherlands wasn't careful, that Latvia was going to take their spot. And I don't know. I kind of feel like I still need to see it in whole. Here's the thing with the Netherlands. Y'all know I'm not like really a big duet person in general. I'm just not. I've never really been like a duet person. Oh, you know what I just thought of? My first love. Da, 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 take. Yeah, but I'm not a big duet person. There's something like schmaltzy about duets. And even though this isn't like a schmaltzy like love song duet, I actually think that the Netherlands is executing it really, really well. And actually, I like the song. I like the studio cut of it. I think because it isn't like a love song duet, I like it more. And I don't know. Y'all, Dave says the Netherlands is so forgettable. Not coming at the end of the show right before people pick up their phone and vote. Emily, it feels like it could go either way with the Netherlands. That's what I agree. I agree with. I agree. I think it could go either way. The benefit of them being out is that then maybe, and we'll move on to this, is that then we can just kind of move them away and possibly get like, Portugal and Latvia. But I shouldn't even get to my fear later. Honestly, I actually thought the staging looked like they were going to qualify. And Europe loves a duet. And I do think the styling was good. Honestly, this should have been a solo entry by Mia. And when they were announced, I went back and did my research. And this is really not to give shade. I'm really not trying to give shade. I'm really just trying to be realistic. And if you are a vocalist and a performer in this world, you need to be open to people having like constructive criticism. When I looked back at Mia's catalog, I was like, oh, wow. Like, this is an interesting performer. Like, her solo stuff is dope. I downloaded a song. Like, after, I was like, this is really, really great. When I looked back at Dion, it was a whole, I think he did like The Voice or something. It was some performances on like some television show, and they were not that great to me. Like, the vocal felt like wavery. It didn't feel solid. It didn't feel confident. And so that was before we even got the song. Okay. I was kind of like, I don't know about this guy. Because again, the live performances that I saw on the internet, because he was on The Voice or something like that, it was just kind of like, okay, like, okay. And she just seemed farther along in her career as an artist, honestly. So we could have just had this as a solo act and the Netherlands would have been qualifying. Let's move on to Norway. Norway is in. It's great. The rehearsal was fine. I was hoping that they were going to do more to amp it up just because I feel like Norway actually had a legitimate like winter buzz following them and that they could have really just cemented it. But they really have just done what they did at the national selection, which sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, obviously Norway is qualifying. I think that Norway is likely coming top 5 at Eurovision this year. Likely coming top 5, if not top 3. I see a pathway for that. And I mean, honestly, I can do the math where Norway wins. I can do the math where Norway wins. People are asking about joining the stream. Yes, I'm just gonna get through this. We're gonna go through fast, and then you too can be on the stream. Okay, let's move on to Poland. Poland's doing everything that they need to do. Okay, when you have a song that has all the negative buzz about it, and you know they're really trying to leave like a positive impression. Honestly, I could still see Poland out. Like, I could still see a world where they're out. There was always a world where they could make it in because it's an easy throwaway pop song in a good way. I mean that positively. It's not some overworked, pop piece. It's just fresh. It feels like summer. Where this will fall down is just, I don't know what that vocal is going to sound like, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I've just always, and let me just say this. I have high standards. Janet Jackson, the Velvet Rope Tour was my first concert. True story. True story. The first concert that I ever went to. And, I just don't know when we stopped making our like pop singers sing. I just don't know when that happened. Yeah. So, Amy B says, I think Poland will qualify. Unfortunately, I don't think I don't know. I don't know. I'm worried that people will prefer Israel on Tuesday and don't vote for Blanca. That is what I'm thinking. I'm saying that's the thing that hurts Poland is think about the vocalists that we have just in semifinal 2. Okay. In semifinal 2, we've got Austria, who's going to sound good. We've got Armenia, who's going to have it together. We got Alika. We got Monica. We got Albania. We got Iceland. And hell, quiet as it's kept, we got Gustav, Belgium. And then she's going to get up there. And yes, and I will say this. And I think I said this in my reaction. I was like, because the song is not vocally challenging. So if you're not going to be able to really sustain and be on the pitch and key confidently, then you have to dance. You have to dance because what else are you giving us? So we have to get a visual. If we're not going to get a vocal, we have to get a visual. So I think there's still, I don't know. Sandra, people are impressed with the dance break, but to be honest, to me, it looks kind of simple and she's still struggling. She might be a little bit wobbly. We have to see the whole thing. We only saw 30 seconds. So we don't know. Just Samo, I feel like being with Israel in the same semi is not ideal, but it might be popular with middle-aged moms because, well, wait, no. But Israel's in semifinal 1. Poland, isn't Poland in semifinal 2? Wait. Wait, hold on real quick. Hold on. I'm like, did I have a senior moment? I'm like, hold on real quick. Yeah, no. Poland's in the second semifinal. So yeah, no. So she won't be hurt by that, but we'll already have the precedent set of that. So I don't know. Someone said Poland's diaspora is huge. Let me just tell you this. I literally went viral in Poland, I guess, on TikTok. I've got a TikTok with over 1 million views and every single comment is dragging her. And even my 3-minute TikTok reaction to the rehearsal where honestly I was like, this doesn't look bad. Everyone is just saying how they don't want to vote for her. So thinking that the diaspora is going to come out with this, y'all, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's move on to Portugal. Y'all, I'm worried about Portugal. Portugal could be out. And I don't like it. But I'm living with the mentality that Portugal is bringing that joyfulness. They're bringing that energy. They don't need to do a whole bunch on the stage because the song is just catchy. And much like Moldova last year, where it's just something that makes you want to kind of sway and clap along, that it'll make it through. That is what I am hoping. That is what I am praying for. That is what I am hoping. That is what I am praying for. But I am concerned. I am concerned. I'm concerned. I feel like I should be concerned, right? I should be concerned. Gosh. Let me hop into these comments. Mango, why did Portugal staging get downgraded? That's the other thing too. Because I heard there was some interview where she was like, yeah, I wanted to have pyro, but we just don't have it in the budget. But did we not have it in the budget to ship over the couch? Do we not have it in the budget? The UK. Y'all got places where people can rent furniture, right? Or even just, you've got theater. We could just get a couch that's probably in some community theater vault that will work. Give us set pieces. If we can't get pyro, can we get a couch or even one of those I would even be okay with a love bed, a heart-shaped bed. It'd be kitschy, it'd be camp, but that's what the song is giving. It's Broadway, it's musical theater. Let's bring it to life. Let's bring it to life. Let's bring it to life. I'm still praying on it. Let's move on to Romania. I was hoping that Romania was going to maybe surprise us with the staging. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think Romania is going to make it. I don't think Romania is going to make it. Oh wait, someone said like, are they even using the LEDs or just the lights? I didn't see anything with the LEDs. Does that cost money too? To me, the LEDs should be included. You shouldn't have to pay extra for the LEDs, especially if someone just maybe wants a colored floor. I think if some points, if we had the floor red, if we had the floor white, we could mix up there. I hope they're not making people pay for LEDs. The LEDs should be free. Come on. ESC Dakota, Romania is criminal this year. The broadcaster fully abandoned that poor kid. Oof. Gospel and Theodore should just enjoy his time now. Yeah. I mean, look. Okay. Oh, hold on. Wisteria said they said that they weren't satisfied with their own LEDs, so they ditched them and used the lights. I want to see what the product was, because honestly, I don't trust them to make that decision. Like I do and I don't. I'm like maybe, but come on, let us just see it and see if people are like no, okay, get rid of it. But can we try it? Can we do they do a run? Someone said ooh. Let's see. Gospel in Bosnia couldn't have LEDs. They won in 2016, so LEDs cost money. Come on. Let's make the LEDs free. Eurovision 2024, free LEDs. Okay, San Marino looks good. It looks good on the stage. Straightforward rock performance in the best way. Looks good, but it ain't making it through, right? It's not making it through. Somebody said that they're probably not coming last, and you know, if they don't come last in the semi, who will? Oh, you're saying Romania. That's what y'all are probably saying. I don't know. Romania, at least there's like a vocal there though, right? I don't know. Maybe San Marino's not coming last. San Marino's giving me like Bulgaria, last year. And that didn't come last, right? So maybe. Okay. Someone said Albania last. Not with that staging. Okay, let's go to Serbia. What can I say that I haven't already said? It's great. Serbia's doing everything that they needed to do. Low-key doing everything that they needed to do, and maybe even some stuff that they didn't need to do, but like, thank you. The addition was welcome. I love the graphics on the stage. Love. Like, can I just love the graphics on the stage? Like, Serbia is giving. I don't even know what else I'm supposed to say. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. I'm trying to set up my, okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. It was great. It was great. I think some people who are kind of like, oh man, Serbia, maybe it's too kids, maybe it's this. After seeing the staging package, it's in. Comfortable. Slovenia, they're in. They're in, if not winning the semi, right? In. Spain, I had heard some rumors that they were going to mix things up and stuff, but I was pleasantly surprised with Spain. To me, there was nothing I would change about the national selection performance. So why show up at Eurovision and start getting, mixing things up? I like her. I actually like her styling. They kept the styling of the Las Mujeres. I think that's what they wrote on the Las Mujeres. Y'all, just like this was like visually arresting in the national selection, other people are going to be experiencing this for the first time. And I wouldn't be surprised if Spain was able to just, like, I think it's between Spain and France. Like, it's between the two of them to maybe just edge out Sweden. Because, like, Sweden's at least, like, first or second with the jury, right? Right. Oscar, Poland is qualifying. Sadly, I liked it after the rehearsal. We will see after the rehearsal clip dropping tonight. Also loved Israel. Well, thank you so much, Oscar. And I'm glad, well, you said qualifying sadly, but, Eurovision, Spain said they will change some things, but they didn't. They faked us out, but I like it. Alicia, do you like the styling? Yes. Have you seen Spain doing the studio high note at the end? I haven't seen it, but let's be real. Blanca Paloma can sing. She's going to sing it like the studio cut. It's gonna happen. Let's see. Like the video. If you haven't already, yeah, there's so many people watching. Hey, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please like this video and please subscribe. I have so much content coming for you. I have all of my content for next week scheduled out. So we've got some live streams happening. You can watch the show with me. We've got Ladies' Choice back. I'm going to be live streaming live from Wonder Garden, which is in Washington, D.C. I'm going to be doing live shows. If you're wondering about that, all you have to do is click the link. It's either link in my bio, and then in this description, I think I have the link to where you can get the information. And, people have been asking me questions like, oh, are you just doing like only the grand final and not the semis? And what that tells me is you didn't click the link. So click the link and get all the info, because if you want to watch Eurovision live, with me in the States and have like community, watch it in community. Because yes, you can watch it at home. You can totally do that. But like, it's kind of fun to watch it around other folks. And Wonder Garden is such an amazing venue. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, low-key, Spain might do a Salvador Sobral this late in the game. Oh, maybe. Nikolai, Iceland qualifying over Belgium. No. I have another thing. So we'll talk about that. Let's see. So let's move on to Sweden. Y'all got to cut it out with like, oh, the box looks so much cheaper. It looks so much smaller. No one else is going to know. No one else is going to know. Now, I will say my one edit was, I think that they could do I wish that they could change the color grading, like add a filter on it or amp up the smoke. Because I just felt like she looked so crisp and clear. And part of the song, I think, is a little bit of the intrigue, a little bit of the mystique. And we're not getting that. It just feels like, oh, it's just her. It's just Lorraine. Not even Lorraine. You know what I mean? It's just Lorraine. Like, hey, when the stars align, then I'll be there. No, I don't care about the world. All I want is to be loved. Okay. Sorry. You're like, shut up and get back to the things. So, Casper, why do countries like Serbia able to invest money in incredible staging, but Portugal can't? I don't get it. It's all about how the broadcaster wants to allocate their budget. And maybe, with Portugal, they have a certain amount that they allocate towards Eurovision, and then they allocate other funds to other things. Maybe that's what's happening. And so, yeah, I don't know. Someone said, I missed this comment, but yeah, someone said, like, we're being picky about it. Yes, we are. And honestly, that's the place you want to be. Because look, Sweden is sailing through. Sweden could still win Eurovision 2023. Don't play. Don't start getting your hopes up, fans, thinking somebody else is about to win. I think we're just so hungry for a surprise win. Like, I think especially after last year where it was just so like, okay, Ukraine's going to win. And then they did. So I think everyone's just hungry for it, that now we might be getting slightly delulu. Like, with thinking like, no, this other person's going to come and grab it. Like, no, not this person who was 10th place last week. Probably not. So I don't know. Yeah. Baby, it's kind of crazy. Something. Okay. Music forum. Yes, surprise when I need that. But yeah, we might not get it. So we should just be prepared. I'm just saying we should just be prepared. Because, like, let's be real. Would Finland or Spain feel like a surprise win? Not really, right? Norway, would that feel like a surprise win? Not really, right? France? Maybe. Maybe France a little bit. Even though France has been consistently in the top 10 of the betting odds like this whole season. But you know what I mean? Like, so what is a surprise win? Okay, so Switzerland looks like it's qualifying though, right? Let's talk about Switzerland. So we got 3 countries left: Switzerland, Ukraine, and then we're gonna hop into discussion. Switzerland looks like it's making it. I could do without it. Here's the thing. Here's the scenario where I'm okay with Switzerland qualifying. I'm okay with them taking Croatia's slot and the Netherlands slot. That's it. If Switzerland takes out Croatia or the Netherlands, I could live. I don't know if it's going to happen. Someone DP on TikTok says, "Hey, why not Spain? She is delivering." So you're saying Spain winning, would it be a surprise? Like, I don't understand what the question is. Maybe you're saying, why not Spain? She's delivering. I said it wouldn't be surprising if Spain won because she is delivering, because the performance is perfection. Okay. Yeah. Ukraine, I still feel good about it. United Kingdom, that was great. That was great. I hope she has different clothes, though. I mean, Ukraine, maybe I should spend more time on Ukraine. I feel like I've talked about it. Like, it looks good. They've elevated the staging. Like, it's so good. I don't know. I'm like, it's so good. Like, so good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess Europe, y'all just don't want to see it for them or something like that. But like, the thing is that Ukraine is actually giving us what the juries tend to go for. It's a little bit soulful, a little bit R&B. It's also forward thinking, electronic. It's something that you would hear on the radio and whatnot. Yeah. Christian, Switzerland over the Netherlands. Well, honestly, I just think the Netherlands was hurt with the running order. I just don't think that was a great place for them, but also, like, to me, the Netherlands, if they were Switzerland, I think if they were swapped with the Netherlands running order wise, I'd be like, easily. But I think Switzerland isn't necessarily being served right next to Croatia. Like people might just still be talking about what Croatia just did on the stage. But like we said earlier in the discussion, Croatia's going a little bit safe. Yeah, Croatia's going a little bit safe this year. And then let's just flip. Let's flip to talk about the United Kingdom. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I might love the staging package. We haven't seen all of it, so I'm trying to you know what I mean? I'm trying to mediate things, but yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. All right. So, and then Eurovision says May needs a new outfit. I'll be honest. I liked her clothes in the music video, but all the clothes she's worn at pre-parties, I haven't liked any of those outfits. No. They feel very off the rack. That's what I'm saying. Like, they feel off the rack, not a showpiece. And I want my girl in a showpiece. I just want this to be verified, you know what I mean? Like, I am here, pop girly, let's go. Like, that's what I want with that first image. And I feel like the staging package is giving me that. So maybe these are just the clothes she's wearing for the rehearsal. But then when we get the show, it's different clothes, which is possible. So I'm down. I'm down with that. Okay. Let's just move to the portion. So let's have some fun, y'all. Let's have some fun. All right, if you want to join this conversation, all you have to do, I think the best place, we'll just do it. And so it's just a pop in, y'all. It's not a come in to stay. Okay? It's not a come in to stay. It's a pop in. So message me your question and topic. Let me pull over. DM me on Twitter to join the conversation. We can have a little talk. All right, but yeah, we can get into the conversations. Jose, do you think Ukraine will win the televote again? No, but they're still going to do pretty well. I think that they could still be coming top 3 with the televote. Do you think there's a world where all of the big 5 makes the top 10? There's a world. Someone's going to miss out. 1, maybe 2. Someone's going to miss out. But I think the miss out is going to be just the edge out. They'll be top 15 though, which is good. Can the UK get top 10? Yes, but I think that that's what they should be shooting for. If that makes any sense. No higher. I don't think it's going to be top 5. But they should be shooting for top 10. That would be good. That would be really good. Who's opening the final? Belgium, Israel, Australia. Oh, I think we talked about this earlier. Or I asked the question. I was like, let's talk about it. I think that Australia has a chance of opening the show if they pull first half. But I also think Israel could open the show. I think I could definitely see Israel opening the show. That would be a moment. And I feel like she doesn't have that many set pieces. Like Australia has like a lot of set pieces. So that's why I'm like Australia maybe not for the open, but I think they'd be a great opener if we had that. Yeah. What else? So yeah. Yeah, so okay, so let me hop in and invite some people. We're gonna have a little bit of time to chat. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna bring people in. Okay. All right, I am going to check my. So here, I'm gonna prioritize. Okay. So if you want to do that, and then here we go. Okay. And then, oh, wait, here we go. Okay, so please have a question. This is not to come and stay. This is to come and chat. Okay. All right. Okay, and while we wait for the brave souls who want to show their face, I'd love to see y'all's faces. Okay, let me hop in. Oh, wait. How do we join again? You DM me on Twitter. Okay. La Linica, do you think that with the mass shootings in Serbia, Luke's Black Song will have a bigger impact? I don't know. Probably, I'd say probably not. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, world events show up in ways at Eurovision, but also Eurovision is sometimes an escape for folks, so it's their space to not have to think about things like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, this was like a thing. So they said that they're going to do this new way of announcing the qualifiers. So that is a thing. Yeah, they said they're going to have a new way of announcing the qualifiers. Honestly, like I don't watch X Factor. I stopped watching American Idol like before Chris Daughtry, so that was a long time ago. So I can't really recall, and I remember people saying like, oh, because it's gonna humiliate the artist like standing there on stage. Is it not humiliating enough just to be in an arena full of people cheering, and then you see the people who get to make it and go, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know how this would be more humiliating than that, but also this is the Eurovision Song Contest, and I don't want us to live in a world where we begin coddling people beyond like what the expectations of what they are going to experience are going to be. Does that make any sense? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, this is the Eurovision Song Contest. Contest is in it. So obviously there's going to be people who make it and there's going to be people who don't. So inherently, it's already set up in a way where it's kind of like, okay. Hold on. So, Alesia, there's a difference between your reaction broadcast on TV and it not being on TV. But I don't think everyone is going to say, I don't know if everyone's reaction is going to be caught, though. They're probably still going to do shots of people. I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to like explain maybe like the other side. So I'm playing devil's advocate. To me, I'm like, I don't feel that deep about it. If I'm being real, like I don't feel that deep about it. But like I said, this is already a competition. There's already going to be moments where people are going to be bummed and it could be captured. I mean, mind you, I remember being in the arena in 2018 and seeing like it didn't need to be on TV. People were filming like the artists there. So like, yeah, it might not be captured on TV, but that doesn't mean it's not going to end up on the internet. And sometimes the internet has more legs than even television does. Because who watches TV anymore? Just kidding. So yeah. Okay, so I got my first guest coming up to the space.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
So I'm calling from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I've been
Wonderful.
basically following you for years.
Oh, thank you. Well, wonderful. Great to have you here. What do you want to talk about?
So basically, I want to talk about Austria. Austrian song is one of my favorite songs this year. It's basically, I think, in my top two. And you sometimes talk to us about how would you stage some performances that have some potential to do well. So my question is basically, how would you, if you were hired to be stage director for Austria this year, how would you stage it in a way that we maybe talk about Austria as being potential winner this year?
So I think the way that I would have staged it is I liked the intro to the music video. I thought that there was something really kitsch about that. I thought it was transportive. It took us to like another time because it almost looked like kind of like this old fashioned like ad agency kind of like setup. And I think I would have started out there. I would have then had it kind of like we're throwing paper in the air. And then I would have had us down like at the end, I would have done like, I probably would have done like an outfit reveal, even though it's cliche. Sometimes like you want the cliche moment just to like have something that people snap onto it. And I would be doing the choreography of the dance, but I would have had it be a little bit more like tight camera angle. So it would have started with, I think Selena is the one who kicks it off. Yeah, right? Selena's the one who kicks it off. And then Taya's the blonde. No. Taya kicks it off. Taya's the brunette. Selena is the blonde. So I would have had it start on Taya like, there's a ghost in my body and he is the lyricist. So she's walking around. You see her maybe with a notebook or something like that. And she's writing all these things. And then when it's like the paralyzed, like, oh, mio padre, then maybe we can throw some paper in the air. And now we're like doing the dance, like, and we're taking over. And then we kind of zoom out. And then Selena comes into the fold. And then I probably work the runway a little bit too. And then probably at the end, I think what they're already doing with the LEDs, they're having like the 0 dot and some of like the buzzwords coming out. That's probably what I would have done. But I think that this is like it is a hard entry to stage. Yeah.
Some fans were saying how actually they should have brought that man from the music video to the stage. So what do you think about that? I think it would have been super cool if they brought that inspectors in those costumes and then doing some dance break. I think it would be great.
Yeah, I agreed with the man comment. I just thought even for like a cameo kind of portion, like even if it was just like playing with him like on an LED, just so like on camera, like where we see him there and then he's like, whoa, okay, what's going on? So even if he wasn't physically there, I would have liked the representation. And I was kind of thinking that the dancers did a reveal, like maybe they come out as the inspectors and then at the end they're in those red things. They're not. But I thought that could have been a moment. I would have liked that.
Okay, so thank you very much for these.
Thank you so much for hopping in. All right, have a good rest of your evening. Yeah. All right, you too can join the stream. It's really simple. All you have to do is DM me on Twitter, okay? DM me on Twitter, and it's real easy. I'm just at Alesia Michelle. It's pretty simple. Okay, so I'm going to go to ESC Dakota. What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about that. Let's see. I want to give it up to Emma Muscat, Malta last year, for starting a new grand tradition at Eurovision. If you're going to send a DOA message, power ballad, generic AI song, you better do it bathed in gold. You better have stairs. You better have it's a tradition now, and I think it's beautiful. And I love that Ireland is carrying that torch now. That's great. Maybe, I don't know. Also, Lithuania, please just bring back the national final look. The pumpkin spice cigarette pants are iconic. She looked great. Try different things. And, people are acting like whatever she puts on in a rehearsal will be sewn to her body.
Right. We can mix it up. Yeah, we can mix it up. There's still time. That's why I'm like, look, y'all got all the fast fashion brands. If I were on her team while she was out rehearsing, I would be down to the store and at the mall or whatever, trying to find everything Irish, just like Irish, orange. I'd be like, what is this? What is this? What is it? Yeah, like this will work. This will work. And we try it out. We can always keep the tags on them and return it. Come on now.
Just pull. It's fine. I never look at the rehearsals. So I never ever look at the rehearsals. I want to be surprised. This is the delusion week where everyone loses their minds, acts like they have no sense. So I try to avoid it, but I did it this year, and my favorites, I'm happy with. I'm a little bit disappointed with Georgia. I think we should have had the dancers. That's a huge missed opportunity. I will say I like how much the stage show is absolutely feeling like an homage to Nina Sablotti. We don't have a broken smoke machine, but the wind and like when she's hitting those and there's a storm behind her, I was like, okay, all right. So, and that's their best placement so far, I believe. So hopefully that's a good omen. So,
Georgia could be doing more.
Yes.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. What else do you want to speak on?
I wasn't sure about Moldova at first, but I really like it. I think people always seem to underestimate Moldova, and then they're shocked when they do really, really well in the televote. I think the thing with him is he's going to sell it. Pasha performs with his whole body, and we have people who can't carry their song standing still, and he's doing acrobatics, and it's insane. So I think I really like how they elevated a lot of the original concept. Going from the antlers to the single horn and then making shapes with it.
Yes.
What the flutist is wearing. They have those like metallic breastplates on the girls. The flutist is wearing like this like full metal. None of it looks cheap. It all looks very elevated, which I think was a little bit of a concern for me at first, where I was like, okay, it's looking a little cheap costumey at the national final, but I think they've really elevated it. So I think he's going to do really, really well. Yeah. The only other thing I would say that really stuck out to me is I don't understand what Israel is doing with the stance break. I really, really don't. I think Noah's actually a really fantastic dancer. So after she's done throwing herself on the floor and doing some sort of CrossFit moment, she stands up and then she is just like cat, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the dancers, and it's great. But the thing you're hinging it on is this moment.
Yeah, the solo.
And the solo is not good. Like, I don't know.
Well, it just needs to be shot differently because, to be fair, like, what she is doing is not easy. To be fair, what she is doing is not easy. But the way that they are shooting it is not like I don't think it's not creating that kinetic energy that you want a dance break to give you, which is like, where do I look? Like, I can't even stay focused. There, it's like, it's real easy to stay focused because they're just circling her. She's right there in the middle of the screen, so there's nothing else. It's like, oh, yeah, she's right there. So you're just sort of watching it.
In the video, but in the video, it was hyper cut, where you were only getting like the movement, and it was very skillfully mirroring her in the hallway with the hallway moving. So it was doing that messing like with proportion and balance, and just circling around her while she's doing that is not going to do that at all. And they have the budget, they have the ability. So if they reshoot it, I think it could work. It's one of those songs that like
they just need to add the camera cuts. And honestly, the Israeli delegation, like some delegations, I'm like, well, did you ask? They're going to ask. They're going to make sure that this looks great. Like, they're going to, it's fine. It really is a camera work thing. I don't think it's anything that she needs to do. It's just the cameras need to ease out.
I mean, speaking of people who didn't ask enough questions, I don't know what happened with Norway. I don't know how that national final performance made its way onto the stage with just basically the same look, the same choreo. I mean, we talked about this. Does she not watch her channel? Because someone needs to send her a link, because all she had to do was be giving, Joan of Arc for Vogue Italia,
high fashion
dancers around her, or holding like a, what is that called when it's like the queen laying on the thing and then they carry her out, like something where it was just like embrace the camp of it, because your song is so campy. And the glow sticks are not going to be as impactful as they think they are. We've seen it, I don't know. That girl's putting it all on the line, and the staging isn't matching the energy.
I mean, I think it's hard because Norway, I think, is just in a flow at Eurovision. in a way that I wish that they would look on over to what Finland has been doing, because I think Finland has even been in this habit of like, yeah, we did that at UMK. You can watch that. But like, we're at Eurovision now. So like, we're gonna, we're just gonna like level it. And I think if Norway just, they would get that win that they so deeply crave.
And they could keep the original concept, just rework it the way that Finland did. Because everything about Finland's staging is the UMK
it's the same
staging,
concept. Yeah, it's the same concept.
Just elevated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, ESC Dakota, do you have what do you think are, like, I think I'm living in a world now. I think next year I'm just going to ban the phrase dark horse because I just don't think I believe in it anymore. Or this year will be the year that decides whether I believe in dark horses again. But what do you think?
I think that it is, I think saying that it's for sure a win for Loreen, even with the juries, is not the case. I think that that is 100% putting it on the juries, acting as if they will be totally objective. They won't take in that it's not only her second win, but Sweden's seventh win, tying Ireland. And I think there could be some machinations. And if you want to do that, you have not one, not two, not three, not four. You have how many other worthwhile winners that you can pour your points into. This is a year where you can the juries can really vote against her. So I don't think it's a sure thing for Loreen. I think that Katia absolutely has a shot. And I think that there's not anywhere near enough people talking about how Blanca Paloma could absolutely sweep. I mean, she is bringing quality. She is bringing vocal perfection. She is bringing a solid staging concept that is authentic to her, that she designed herself. Everything, for every part of it, is as immaculate as Sweden, but it feels a little bit more authentic and organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Sweden, she's pulling you to another world. She's pulling you to Dune. She's pulling you to something that is mystical, but it is also otherworldly. And with Spain, with Blanca, she's pulling you to, this is my ancestral heritage. This is the heritage of my region and my culture. And I just think that there's something really transformative about both. And it just depends on where everyone's at in the night. But the way things have been trending, authenticity, ethnic, native language have had a bit of an edge with Televote. And I think that's going to matter because I don't see the juries blanking Blanca. I don't think it'll happen.
That's not going to happen. So I will say, jury-wise, I think Italy could be the dark horse. No, Italy is never a dark horse for the, like, I talked about this earlier. Italy is never a dark horse for the jury because even when Italy is giving us something that should win. I mean, honestly, by the time we had gotten to Måneskin, to me, Italy kind of got robbed minimum 2 times. And some people would make the argument 3 times since they had like returned to Eurovision. And I live comfortably. Yeah, I live comfortably in that world. So the idea that all of a sudden the jury would appreciate Italy after some of the, and I will tell you this, I can say this. I don't think this is not like a thing. And maybe I've said it before. There are going to be some people on juries this year that were in delegations last year.
Absolutely.
And I don't know.
It's like, phrase from you, I believe it's hot pissed.
Yeah, some of them are still, I think, going to be a little bit irked.
Yeah.
Irked about stuff, and just stuff from last year. Because honestly, it's like you could pick something.
I mean, between the Nordics and the Big Five, it's everybody kind of, corralling and jockeying for position. I just think people need to be realistic and understand that Georgia is going to sweep this. Thing is known. And no one's going to be able to stand in the way. She's going to hit that series of high notes at the end, and the roof will cave in. And that'll be that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. I've got another person waiting in the wings, ready to ask their question, but always a pleasure.
Of course.
Real.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. I've got someone else coming up to the stream and to the screen and the stream. And it is Amr. How are you feeling?
Hi, what's up? Hi, everyone. I'm doing good. I have a question.
Well, hold
Blanca.
on. You got to tell the people where you calling from.
Sorry, I'm from Germany,
Okay, wonderful. Hello from Germany.
and I wanted to ask, Riley and Blanca. These are like the two artists that got like the most hate in this Eurovision season. Who do you think has the better chances of qualifying out of these two, since they're kind of on the edge and in the same semi?
I think Denmark has a better shot at it. Mostly because I think that there are a lot of people who quietly like this song a lot. So I would say that I think there are people who are like, but I kind of like it. I also think that Riley is hitting a demographic. I would say it's weird because at first I was thinking that like Riley, Andrew, and Victor were maybe in the same category. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that they were in the same category, but I think that Cyprus is actually aged up a little bit. I think Cyprus might be a little bit, even though Andrew is super young. I think that Andrew might be appealing to a little bit of an older audience, the song wise. I think that, maybe Victor and Riley are in the same bucket. And I think Riley is exploding on the stage with color, and the song is so catchy. But I will say I feel less confident. I feel less confident about it because I don't think that he should have dropped the vocoder altogether. I think it just needed to be turned down in the mix, because I do think it adds a really nice dynamic element to the song. Like, yeah, and I when I was listening to or watching like whatever the little 3-minute clip of like the beginning of semifinal 2, I was kind of like, wait, is it gone? Is it gone? So I don't know. Again, we're commenting off crumbs.
I'm like, everyone's talking about Riley's followers and everything, but he didn't even won the televote in the national final. He won because of the jury. So I'm just asking myself, are they even voting for him? Are they even following Eurovision? Yeah, it makes me kind of worried, to be honest.
Well, we don't have to worry about it, because what Denmark did is basically is kind of like what Australia and somewhere I'd say somewhere in between the spectrum of like Lord of the Lost in Australia. So all of the Danes who were sad that what Niklas didn't win, they will have someone to root for. They've got Australia and they've got Lord of the Lost, and they can pick their poison there.
And yeah, about Poland, I wanted to ask, because right now in Lithuania, Solo is #1 in the charts. In Ukraine, it's also charting in the top 10, and in a few other countries in Europe. So do you think these charts can go into points, or?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think I would hate, because I'm in this is like where I was last year. Last year, I felt like from each semi, it was like, I just really only want these 3 songs to qualify. If they make it, I'm fine with that. And then in this semi, if 5 of these make it, then I'm okay. And so this year, I think I feel that even less. I feel like there's maybe 3 songs that I just am I just really, really want to see those make it through. And semifinal 1 and semifinal 2 is probably 2. And of those 2, I know one of them is not going to make it, so,
Oh, no.
so if Poland makes it, is my heart going to be broken if Blanca makes it and then Dilyal doesn't? No. Why? Because I've already prepared myself to lose power. I've already prepared myself for Iceland to not make it through. So then there's only one way to go. We're going up. Yeah. So honestly, if she makes it, it's kind of okay. Okay.
If she makes it to the final, what do you think? Where is she going to place?
Nowhere near the top 10.
Okay. I
mean, but also to be fair, if the dance break is really giving something, then different. Because again, I am fine. If you're not going to give me a vocal, give me a visual.
Because you can find the dance break on TikTok, because it was posted sometime today, the full dance break, and the second part of the dance break, it's getting better and better. I think she's going to do well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, the thing is, if she does well, it's not off the strength of Poland, because I'm just telling. Every time I post anything about Poland, even if I'm being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, because the thing is, it's never really been the song. I think that's what people forget. It's never really been the song. It's always been the execution and the fact that Poland maybe had something else that would have been a solid qualifier. That's where the angst has been. It's not been because Solo's not a good song. It was really the execution, because, I mean, she was off at the national selection, and the staging was not that expansive to maybe justify it being slightly off.
I think like if they didn't do a national final and just chose Blanca in advance, we would like talk a little bit different about all this.
Yeah. All right. Do you have another topic you want to cover?
No, it's fine. I'm finished now.
All right. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's so great to have people actually join the stream, y'all. Y'all are shy out there. Stop being so camera shy. Come out here. Alberto. Oh, also, I think nobody's talking much about the rest of the world voting this time around. Would that change things somehow? I mean, it's not enough points to really change things, I think. Like, I think it's not enough points in the mix to really, shake things down. However, if you are curious about the rest of the world voting, Eurovision Fam is a website that is only made up of creators from countries that do not participate at Eurovision. So if you are from a country that doesn't participate at Eurovision and you would like to write for a fan site, you should join Eurovision Fam. It's eurovisionfam.com. And that's not just an ad. Basically, the team did their ranking, and it was interesting. The team put on their ranking. So I don't know if that will be, I'm really curious to see if that lines up with the ultimate, rest of the world vote. It might not, but I think it is still something curious to maybe compare to this year. But from the Eurovision Fam team, Spain won. And I will say, I think in Latin America and the Caribbean, a lot of them actually do know about Eurovision, because a lot of them actually had, I think, Spain's broadcaster. So they might have kind of an outsized, I don't know, I'm just speculating. They might have an outsized influence ultimately on kind of the rest of the world vote. So I think if that's the case, then perhaps Spain might have a little bit of an advantage, and maybe anything that feels a la to just what's on the global charts. But I have to also mention, we can't forget about Norway. Norway has already been kind of like a certified hit. People are already familiar with the song. So maybe some people are like, oh, I had already heard this in my Spotify shuffle, and now I get to pick up the phone and call for it. So I think that that's something. Gospel and rest of the world could definitely be decisive in semifinal 2. I agree with that. And that's why I think I'm sort of attempting to lean a little bit into my instincts more so this year than before, just because I'm like, okay, no, but what am I really listening to? What has the song that sticks? Because I do think in recent years at Eurovision, yes, we know staging matters, and I think staging can be the difference between a winner and not. But I think in the semifinals, it's still a lot with the song, where it's you could see someone throw the whole kitchen sink at a performance, but ultimately, if that song wasn't something that felt catchy, that didn't feel like it was in their charts, they weren't going to pick up the phone and call for it. So yeah. So Emily says, I wonder if they'll announce it separately. I actually think that they, we're not going to hear it in the semis, but I think at the grand final, we're going to hear where the rest of the world voted. And some of y'all were thinking oh, are we going to get a spokesperson or something like that? I think it's just going to be Martin. Yeah, I think it's going to be Martin doing it, right? Yeah. Henri says, in my opinion, we also need a rest of the world jury. I wouldn't hate that, though. But if we do that, then it opens the door for the rest of the world vote, I think, to get a little bit more I mean, because that would give more points. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I think right now they're not trying to do all that. And then okay. And then Angus, we need to remember that most of the votes come from casual viewers. Try to think of the entries as if it were the first time you heard it. Yep, we know that. We're pros over here. We got that. So, okay. I'm going to have to close out this stream, and I'm going to tell you, so again, I'm going to just share this because I'm like, but this is not my prediction. So I will say that my pre-rehearsal predictions tend to be better, more accurate than my post-rehearsal predictions. So I'm kind of like, I don't know where I want to like bet my money right now, but historically speaking, my pre-rehearsal predictions actually ended up being more accurate than my post. So let's talk about semifinal 1 first. So I had Sweden, and we're talking post-rehearsal. So pre-rehearsal, I had Sweden, Norway, Finland, Czechia, Israel, and Serbia in, and post-rehearsal, I'm still there. I did put a little note by Czechia that I'm like, okay, they probably could have done more with the staging, sure. So I'll put a little bit of an asterisk by them, just like, okay, yeah, fair. They could have maybe done more, so maybe this hurts them, but I don't think so. So Czechia is still in. Moldova, I put shaky by, but I still think that Moldova is going to be able to make it through. I think that Moldova's just doing that ethnic thing. The Netherlands, I just don't believe y'all, Europe. I hear all your comments and everything. I hear all your comments, but I sort of feel like I just think Europe really loves a duet, and the staging looked good. The styling looked good. I'm just thinking the Netherlands still gets to slide in, but if they don't, Switzerland is taking their spot. And I think Switzerland's right there. So I'm kind of like post-rehearsal saying I think Switzerland could be taking the Netherlands slot. And then I'm shaky on Croatia. And then y'all, based off the rehearsals, I'm deeply worried for Portugal. With the 30 seconds that I saw, I was like, I don't think it's going to make it. But the benefit of that, I guess, the what is it, like, the bright side of that could be that I do have Latvia making it. So that's what I did on semifinal 1. And then semifinal 2, I said that Australia, so pre-rehearsal and then post, I said Australia, Austria, Slovenia, Georgia, and Armenia were making it through, and post-rehearsal, I'm still keeping that. And I'm saying that Austria might be a little bit shaky, but I think the song is just so catchy, it kind of didn't matter what they did on the stage. It was going to make it through. The song's just that good. And then I said that, Cyprus was shaky only because I just thought that they were going to do more on the stage. So now I'm just a little bit nervous. I'm like, is there a world where it becomes forgettable? Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm like, I have the question and I didn't have the question prior to seeing the staging. So I said it was shaky, but that I think it still makes it through. And then pre-rehearsal, I said Greece was in, and after rehearsals, I'm saying Greece is out and Belgium is in. And then Lithuania, I think she's still making it in. But girl, we got to figure out these clothes. Denmark, I said, is shaky. And I said, if Denmark, I have to see the whole piece. But if that vocal is anywhere funky, Estonia is in. Estonia is in. And then Albania, y'all, the 30-second clip was all I needed to see. I thought that Albania was making it, and I'm still keeping it there. Now, I will say the fence I had pre-rehearsal for semifinal 1 was Switzerland and Latvia. And I think that that's still where we're living. And then the fence that I had for semifinal 2 was, I think we're still living in Switzerland, Latvia on the fence. But I think post-rehearsals, I'm saying Portugal's on the fence. So if anyone fumbles the bag, it's like Portugal, Latvia, maybe we don't get both. I don't know. And I kind of said that I think Switzerland could be taking the Netherlands role. That's my change there. And then on semifinal 2, pre-rehearsal, I said my fence was like Estonia, Belgium, and then Iceland, just off the urging of y'all, because I'm just deeply nervous for Iceland. But post-rehearsal, I'm putting Belgium in. So now my fence is Greece and Estonia, basically, is my post-rehearsal fence. So I don't know where this is going to shake all out, but you can watch with me next week. Hit those notify me buttons. If you just go to my page on YouTube and look at the live tab, you can get notifications for all the ones. And then we have a Ladies' Choice live stream coming up. Thank y'all so much. This was a marathon of a live stream, but we made it through. But some of y'all were sitting watching those 6-hour live streams. So I was like, if I just do a solid two, this won't be that daunting. And I am going to offer this on my podcast, Eurovision for Real, available on Spotify and Apple. Thank you all so, so much for watching. I cannot believe we made it here. And truly, I've done this before, and I don't want it to seem like trite. Thank you. Thank you so much. If I did not have this outlet to talk to y'all about Eurovision, I would have no friends, because my friends would be like, she is a weirdo that is talking about this thing that we know nothing about. And, it's just great to come to this space and actually have people to talk to. So thank y'all so much. All right, let's get excited for Eurovision 2023. Bye.